Bird o'clock. Hope everybody's doing okay. Happy Friday. All right. Let's see. Amen, good morning. New Game Plus. Good morning, thanks for hanging out, guys. Taking a break from Bloodstained. Thank you for taking a break from your gaming to hang out with me while I game. Thought my controller wasn't working for a second. Yes, open this file. Okay, I'm gonna reset the time. And we'll go complete. We'll 100% the stone temple. Are you playing Bloodstained in anticipation of the second one coming out? I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but apparently soonish. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Even says, it's all good. I spent hours trying to clean up the map, thinking I was about to beat the final boss, only to be rug pulled and finding out a secret set of armor I didn't find was needed to continue. Classic. Might need that. Alright. The iron piece is out of the way. I'd be surprised if anyone found it naturally. But it's, wait, is it needed to beat the game? You said it's needed to beat the game. That's a good question. What's a thinking back to our longish lives on video gaming? You know, there's always those games out there from our childhood that, hang on, you can beat the game without it, but it ends with a game over screen. You need to get the true ending. What's like a game situation where the game wanted you to do something, but it was just too convoluted, mean, I'm gonna go way back with this one, all the way to, I think, 1986. But I played Metal Gear, the very first Metal Gear, back when I was doing my proto-social media posting before I live streamed. And man, there was a number of parts in that game. Oh man, really? Wait, what? There's a number of parts in Metal Gear Solid, or sorry, in Metal Gear, the very first one for the NES, that I have no idea how people figured it out without a guide or your friends telling you. I know that there were some parts like that in Zelda 2: Adventures of Link. You know, I'm not talking about Easter eggs. I'm talking about I'm talking about things you absolutely need to do to beat the game, but it's almost impossible to figure out on your own. I never understood Metal Gear. I would just play to overuse the taser long enough to catch the victim on fire. Which version is that? I don't think I could do that in the original. I have the light arrow, but I'm gonna go in here and redo certain parts because I want to get everything. And as we found out with the water temple, when you go back into a temple after resetting time, it resets the whole thing. Oh my goodness. There be fairies here. It might have been the demo you play in the stores. Oh. Trying to think of moments in my childhood where I just couldn't figure something out. I had to rely on my friends. Well, there is a fairy, but not the fairy I'm looking for. Can't believe I didn't hit this last time. Yeah. Piece of cake. Just gotta find 14 more of them. Aiming that short you sent me was pretty interesting. About the what was it, DRM? Is that that's the acronym? Am I saying that correctly? That whole DRM thing is pretty interesting. It's what does it stand for? Sorry, I'm just trying to do this quick. digital rights management. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I see a lot of people, I mean, from what I understand, it was originally made to prevent cheating, right? In multiplayer games. Like, they would put it in multiplayer games to prevent players from basically hacking the source code. But it also, because of the state of the software or whatever they put in it, it's very resource heavy and causes games to run really poorly. And it prevents mods from being developed and whatnot, from what I understand, because it basically encrypts everything. I don't know if encrypts is the right word, but you know, and when you mentioned how yesterday, when you told me yesterday to share that article with me about how it's on the new releases of Resident Evil for Steam, it just made me think, okay, what are the reasons they're doing this? Steam, these games have been out for decades, which means there's already people who've probably borderline made PC ports of them, you know? The code's already been hacked. What's the point of putting a DRM on them? And the only explanation I can think of is what I mentioned last night, was that they, meaning big game studios, you know, they want more control over their IPs. You know, and while it's impossible right now with the state of the internet, and I know that's hard to believe considering there's so much control right now, even on the internet, it's still not 100%. Like, there's still places where you can get ROMs and things like that. But I do think, you know, in the near future, there will be a much larger crackdown on ROM sites. Not emulation. I think emulation will always be there as long as it's considered legal. But I do think as more and more companies adopt DRM, there's going to be a subsequent crackdown on ROM places to get ROMs. Eventually, you're going to have to, like, physically hunt down someone in some back alley market to get the ROMs you want on a flash drive. But then you have company websites like GOG. Is it GOG? You know, they're doing God's work. Making sure that, you know, if you buy a piece of software, you're gonna get the full thing on your computer. You own the license to it, and you can use it however you want. I really should start doing that. I think the issue is Steam is like legacy, and they make gaming really, really easy. It's so easy and accessible and convenient. Whereas, you know, even little extra steps of installing a game yourself can cause a problem for people, or they just won't play if they have to do extra steps. But I really should. Oh man. I really should build up my own GOG library. in case of, you know, things happening. But the one good the one good argument you have with digital assets is that as long as the purchase is preserved somewhere, you don't have to worry about decay of physical things. You know, it's like I've got a few old Game Boys sitting right below me right here, and over time those things will deteriorate unless I know how to fix them. They're going to deteriorate. So I haven't played a lot with GOG.com, but I assume that they log your purchases so that, you know, if you do happen to lose your hard drive, you can just re-download your digital assets. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. I could be wrong though. Eamon says, as much as people dislike Thor, aka Pirate Software, he had a good point about piracy. He'd say piracy in general is an issue of economics. People either can't afford or can't buy the game. You can't get the game because you don't have access to it, not available in your country or a platform you own. Yeah. I mean, I could only speak anecdotally, because I haven't really dug into this. But, you know, like the recent Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green games that came out, I imagine those sold well and made a lot of money for Nintendo. And I think, and people are saying, well, I can play it right now, and it's like, there it is, it's on their Steam Deck or their, you know, their other emulator handheld, and that's fine, but I do think people are more than willing to pay money for a game if it's offered to them, you know, as long as it's not exorbitantly overpriced. So yeah, I do think, okay, yeah, then that makes sense then. It is about money. If a game is super duper expensive, people aren't going to buy it. Especially if it's an older game that doesn't deserve the price hike. Like, I bought Fire Red because I want it in my collection. I want it on my Switch. I want it there when I boot it up, and I know Nintendo is doing some other online stuff for the Pokemon world. You know, it's people will buy it if it's available, but I think the issue is economics and availability. Correct. GOG is like Steam, but focuses on being DRM-free. Fun fact, GOG is owned and controlled by CD Projekt Red. No way. Really? I did not know that. That is really interesting, actually. Good job, CD Projekt Red. Don't screw up Don't screw up Witcher 4. It's nice having like physical libraries. Physical, and it's funny because so many games now we don't have these big digital libraries of, physical libraries of games where I can just pull them out and play them. But like, you know, I modded my new 3DS, which is awesome. If you still have your new 3DS or 3DS, definitely look into modding it because the modders have just gone ham on it recently, and it's really cool. I've got so many games on it now for systems that shouldn't be on it, but I know that if I lose that, you know, it's gone forever. Or like I considered selling my old Anbernic. Hang on, I'll show this in a second. This one, this is cool. You can put a lot of games on it, and basically up to PlayStation, and it's metal. It's got a metal case. Like, I can play Pokemon Fire Red on this. Has a lot of cool functionality, but if you lose it, it's gone, and that's it. If I had infinite money, I would have a whole collection of these retro handhelds and emulation handhelds. I love them. I love collecting them where I can. But I think the idea is people like things. They like physical things, and so I don't think physical things will ever go completely out of style. And, you know, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing on humanity. It can get bad, but not necessarily in this case. Unless you're stealing them, I guess. Oh gosh, this thing got me again. It's the same issue with streaming services. For a while, they were very convenient, easy to use, and had a ton of movies and shows, but now pirate sites have become more convenient again. Yeah, I mean, one, they're getting more expensive. Two, like, things in general are more expensive now. Gas is ridiculous. Like, yeah, you notice it more and more once you got a family. We're paying a lot more money per month on basic necessities than we were a few years ago, and money's pretty tight, and so gotta cut out those streaming services. You just don't need them as much as you think you do. That and YouTube. YouTube, I mean, there's just so many options to entertain yourself. Well, yeah, also, yeah, being nickeled and dimed by them, but also, remember when it was advertised that's like, oh, no more commercials? And then, of course, there's commercials unless you pay for a higher tier, which is because streaming is basically unprofitable for a lot of these sites. But I saw this other article that I'm only halfway through it because it's kind of long. It was talking about why the gaming industry is reporting it's steadily growing by like 5% every year, but there's the workforce has been also steadily declining. I mean, people are getting fired, and it's just kind of analyzing what's going on with the gaming industry and how can it be growing while people are getting fired. And I'm only partway through the article, but you know, AI, not just AI, not just the RAM shortage, although there's part of it, but also the just more and more people are using AI, and it's a time game. Like you're competing for the attention of people and where they spend their free time, and AI is a place where people spend their free time. Especially since it's so convenient with when it's all on modern phones and whatnot. But I definitely want to finish that article and discuss it with you guys. I think it'll be fun. Oh man, I forgot to hit the button. Ugh. Whee. Oh, I'm dumb. I thought it was just like a step-by-step thing. Eamon says, it's not that they're unprofitable, it's that they keep wasting hundreds of millions of dollars making things like Rings of power. Yeah, and I imagine, you know, back when streaming wasn't a thing, you had it was way easier to measure metrics on audience retention. You know, you could just see, oh, 10 million people bought this DVD, therefore it's a hit. Whereas now they have to keep producing content in the hopes that subscribers will not just stay, but more people will be drawn to the platform. And so there's not a really easy metric to determine if the product was worth it or not to make. I mean, yes, you could go by views for sure. But I imagine that's a much harder metric to measure when it comes to something like customer acquisition costs than straight up sales. Hey, see this guy. Fun fact, Starfield's end credits are around 40 minutes long. Why? Because the sheer amount of outsourcing they did to third-party studios. And not so much. Blockbuster was a thing back then, and so streaming services are more accurate now. Well, wait. Sorry, what was that? Which comment of mine was that in relation to Eamon? Sorry. I gotta beat this guy again. Alright then. Have at thee. Enough talk. Have at thee. I put this on, does it mess with him? Oh, oops. It's a good thing I got double defense. We're talking about the old days. It was easier to get. Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. But then you just go by Blockbuster sales, and then you could go by. I'm sure that data, Blockbuster had that data. And studios could get it easily. Wait, the room where I'm fighting Master Garo is the actual dungeon boss entryway. Oh, just upside down, probably. Oh, yeah. Yay! 5 rupees! Yeah, it's upside down. The Oculus in the room becomes the pit leading. Oh, okay, cool. Oculus, good word. I do think, though, that overall, and we've kind of discussed this before, but and I do think this is all related to the whole, you know, front-loading your game and with exciting moments and then having it trickle down, and the whole dual screen thing in that Matt Damon interview. It's the idea that a game needs to get you hooked right away. And, you know, back in the day, in my day, you know, when we were kids, these games. Oh man, hang on, let me fight this guy. Hey, buddy. Okay. Let's blind that big old eye. I was trying not to waste light arrows. Morning, Tim. I'm not going to pick Rogan immediately. But I have been actively sharing all their posts. And just, you know, don't necessarily have the money right now to waste on a ton of games. I did, however, break and saw that Resident Evil 4 Remake was like 89% off or something like that. So I purchased that for just a few dollars. So, sorry everyone. You will have to sit through another Resident Evil game with me at some point. It's going to happen. Look at that, I'm clipped. You didn't sleep well? Sorry, Tim. That was an eye ogre, a classic Zelda enemy that goes down to arrows to the eye. Sick yeah, I know. I love how they threw that in this game. The whole like, yeah! The Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi jumps. Igor, sorry. How do you do, fellow kids? My boys went to go see the new Mario movie last night, and they came back just wired and wanted to tell me everything about it. Apparently it's really good. Oh yeah, they do, you're right. And before I do this, I should go back in and take advantage of that. Thank you, Seek the Sky. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I took it off the cough, and I forgot to put it on again. My bad. What I was gonna say was the Dexy hand would have helped for that side, but I need to get on another side. The other one. I gotta do this again. Get in there. Tim, before you arrived, we were discussing DRM, which is basically stands for, where is it? Digital. Where is it? I missed it. Digital rights management, which is a thank you. Thank you, Seek the Sky. Yeah, we were discussing digital rights management, and basically it's a software that a lot of bigger studios are putting on their games to prevent piracy and basically like cracking the code and whatnot. I'm wondering if there's anything like that in the music industry. Not that, I mean, piracy in the music industry has been an issue since the internet. But the DRM has the offshoot of often has the added side effect of making the games run really poorly. So I'm just curious if there's anything like that in the music industry. Eamon says, you know, I was wondering why the enemy variants are so different in Bloodstained, along with all the strange rooms and items. I forgot much of the Kickstarter was for custom player content. Oh, you mean like if you contributed, you could create a new creature or something? That's pretty cool. Seek the Sky has sent me something really stupid and silly over the Discord. Perfect. Alright, I'd be remiss if I didn't use this mask at least once. How do I use it again? There we go. Alright. Over Discord DM. Awesome. Okay, I'll check that out after the stream. Don't want to complicate things. I think there might be for Tim says there might be for music that you actually purchase. Like if I download a song from iTunes Music Store, I can't just send that file and have it work. Remember when you could do that? That used to be a thing. That was crazy. Crazy times. Is there discussion on having a physical digital library, meaning all of your stuff is physically on your computer versus streaming? Like, will the music industry go to full stream mode at some point where you won't actually have to have any drive space? I don't think I need to go over there, so I am not. Backers tiers allowed you to create enemies, items, and if you spent enough, even an optional mini boss. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, it pretty much already has, yeah. Do people get as concerned about not having physical media in the music spaces as they do in video game spaces? Because in game spaces, it's pretty. You will own no music and be happy. in game spaces, it's a pretty contentious topic. And by that I mean it's just discussed a lot. Also, if you hold your shield with the blast mask, you won't take damage when you explode. Oh, cool. That's good to know. Alright, let's flip this temple. What's going to be really funny is when all of us are really old and we all start wondering, wait a minute, what's going to happen to my Nintendo library when I die? Can I pass that on to my children? And currently, I don't think any major game publisher has really thought of, like Steam hasn't really thought of that, have they? Like, what's going to happen when the players start to die off? Who's going to get their digital library? I'm sure in another 30 years, you know, Nintendo's going to be like, do you want to pass on your game collection to your loved ones? You can, for a price. Indeed, Amazon was talking about, Eamon says, Amazon was talking about how there won't be a need for people to buy RAM because you'll no longer needing personal computers in the same way everything will be streamed from the cloud. Yeah, I remember we talked about that briefly. Up is down and down is up. Hey Chevelle. Keep games physical. Oh yeah, that's cool. Tim says, actually, I've heard that cassettes, vinyl, and CDs are coming back. Gen Z is into them. Awesome. Well, I guess it's similar to when the Kindle came out. Everyone thought that that was going to completely replace books. There would be no more bookstores. And, you know, while Barnes & Noble has become more of a, you know, a toy store slash whatever store. You can buy a ton of stuff there. Physical books are still in very much demand. People like them. They like the feel of the book. So I think there'll always be at least some market for physical stuff because, again, people like physical stuff. Right. Death armor. So Temple Guard, look at that red mark on his chest. No, I've seen something like that before. Oh, you gotta hit it with a light arrow. I thought I did that. I don't remember those guys. Jeez. Okay, let's go. Seek this guy says, well, of course, not the exact original CD format, right? But Something more modernized like Blu-ray. Tim says, at PAX East, there was a booth selling lo-fi remixes of popular video game scores on CD, vinyl, and cassettes. I was floored. I hadn't seen a cassette on the shelf for sale in years, but it was like seeing a work of art in a way. Like the physical product was attractive. That's cool. I could see them selling cassettes with like aluminum shells, all like painted nice. I would buy that. Tony, he's got a vinyl of the like a remixed the original Resident Evil score. He's got a vinyl copy of that. So yeah, people like collector's items. The real problem with physical is that it's limited lifetime. Yeah, data degradation. But just like books of old, you'll need to hire some monks of periodically copy and paste into the new storage data devices. Yeah, unfortunately. Whoa! Teddy Belcher, thanks for hanging out, man. How's it going? Nothing beats the Jet 2 holiday. Nothing beats the Jet 2 holiday. You now, and you know you can save up to £50 per person. That's $200 if a family of 4. Tim says, not sure what that's in relation to, Teddy. Is there a special deal going on? Chevelle says, Tim, even DVD is coming back, especially with the pricing of streaming and making them expensive. Yeah. We buy DVDs still for my family. Is this a... Yep. Okay. Yeah, it looks like people are, you know, that argument of this is going to degrade or this is going to be in a fire and you'll never see it again. Like, yeah, that is something to be concerned about it, but it looks like people have the trade-off of being like, I want to physically own it. I don't want to pay money every time. You know, essentially every view costs less money, but you are still paying something per view of your media. And it is nice when my kids want to watch something that we have on DVD. I don't have to rely on the internet. See, this guy says, so have you guys actually seen the true scale of data? No, I have not. Dang it, it's another meme that I'm not familiar with. Ugh, I hate when that happens. Explain the meme to me. This one's upside down? Ugh. Does that mean I should have... So, hang on. So, isn't it crazy that you need 212 DVDs to hold a terabyte? That is pretty crazy. Shoot, I just missed what it did. What'd that thing do? That is pretty crazy, Seek the Sky. I imagine that the DVDs will get more advanced, and they will, maybe they'll sell them, you know, for like, hey, buy this DVD set, you'll get 30 movies all on one DVD. Sorry, I'm finding it hard to play and and talk at the same time. Sorry, everyone. Oh, okay, that's what it did. Wait, there was a place I could go under here. Oh yeah, can I get in there? I don't know, we'll see. From 2025, where the 2024 upbeat advertisement audio for the British travel company is paired with chaotic, disastrous, or ironic vacation fails and mundane, unfortunate situations. Oh. Wait, so they advertised some big sale and it caused a lot of issues? Like people had some travel problems? Blu-ray holds 50 gigabytes, so only 20 would be a terabyte. Oh. Yeah! A small key. Oh no! Guess I should have looked where I was going first. Oh, it saved me. Thank you. Thank you, Dexahand. I think I need to spawn a treasure chest. Imagine how many, yeah, a lot of CDs. You know, I'm not gonna lie, when people show off their video game collection or their DVD collection and it's just like a huge wall of media, you know, it's kind of fun. Imagine a stack of 1,400 CDs. A stack as tall as a... Oh, come on. Darn collision. Ugh, guess I gotta do it from above. Or can I get it from here? Nope. Float over there. Come on, come on. Yeah. All right. Making progress with that. Okay, now I think I need to go up here. Oh. Okay. Oh, can't jump. Aha! Clever. Clever game. Thought you could fool me. Does that change the whole temple? I'm just lazy. I want to change him to the Goron. Nothing beats the Jet 2 holiday upbeat lady speaking over footage of riots or someone being pushed in front of a train. Ah, jellies. I remember this. Alright. I gotta get it into that center. This is definitely my favorite temple in the game. And probably one of my, when it comes to the N64 era of Zelda temples, definitely in my top 3. Make sure I'm not. Alright. And flip it a switch. I will say, the boss for this temple doesn't really match the what goes on in it. I mean, I guess that's basically, you know how a lot of bosses you're supposed to use the castle treasure to beat them? At least that's generally what happens. You know, yeah, you get the stone mask, but it's kind of a gimmicky mask. It'd be fun to have a boss where you have to, there's those symbols on the wall and you have to regularly flip it to beat him. I don't know, that might be annoying. I know, the Giant's mask, but it's only used in one spot. I think there's only one other use for it, and it's kind of like a gimmicky thing. I had to pick a pathetic Zelda enemy. This guy's pretty pathetic. Oh wow, it's already 53? Oh man. Does the light arrow do double damage to this guy? Because this game's incredible, don't get me wrong, but you know. We're gonna have to fight this guy over and over again. Probably don't want to fall down there. Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to get the sword. Ow. Oh, I can't see. Fairy? Oh, I was hoping for a... Oops, not that. Didn't mean that. Okay, can't grab the lid. I did like how in the 3DS version of this game, they they made it much more of like a brawl with the giant's mask. Aw, sad Poe. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, that brought me over there. Guess I'll go there first. Like Link grabs them and punches them and things like that. It's pretty cool. Rather than just make you really big. Can I not go in here? I can't go in here. That's weird. Is it on the map? Where's my map? That's weird. Nothing beats grabbing Twin Mold by the tail and swing him. Yeah, exactly. That was a really cool update that they made for the game. Looks like I'm stuck now. As I fall into the sky. What is with these guys? Can I only grab them when they're upside down? And where's my map? Falling into the sky. What is this? Patema inverted. I've never played that game or seen that movie. What is the purpose of that? Can I hook shot to these guys? Okay, whatever. Any fairies in here? Those death armors can be really can only be damaged by themselves. The Deku flower can help you get in there. Oh yeah, that's sorry, I was scarred by that fake false door with the invisible wall in front of it. Just totally forgot about the Deku flower right there. No! Yeah! Oh, I remember this place. Flip. Oh, man. What's in here? Flower's gonna help me get over there. What's this? Aha! I do not understand how that helps me. Oh, you're gonna smash his head in the ground, that's why. Oh, man. Oh. Okay. Alright, now we can do this. What's that thing shooting at? Things in the way. Guess I'll just trigger it. Worth it. I do feel like this game has a great balance of, as you progress, you still have to use all the different masks. You know, by all the, I mean the Deku, the Goron, and the Zora. Like, there's not one that's forgotten. They still work in puzzles and stuff for each one, so that you can't really forget about it. Oh, this boss is so cool. It's Gomez! There'll be no end to it if you can't get those bats away from it. Does that shed any light on the situation? Well played, Nintendo. Haha. That was cool. Definitely getting the Tim Burton vibes. Yeah, that's totally Oogie Boogie. Makes me want to go listen to the Oogie Boogie song now. Good old Danny Elfman. The boss key. Alright, but we're still missing some fairies, so it's like we gotta handle that. How many do I have? Oh man, there's still 3 more? Well, 3 chests. It is kind of a bummer that you get the Great Fairy Sword at the end of the game. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, well, now I gotta beat the game. No time to actually enjoy it. Come on. Right, can I get out this way? Where's that locked door? Suppose I could hook shot to that. How soon is too soon and how late is pointless? Oh wait. At what point in the game should the player be given access to unlock the best gear weapon? How soon is too soon? How late is pointless? I think it depends on how good the weapon or gear is. Like if it's really, really overpowered, then definitely post-game. If it's not too broken, then I would say the last third of the game. You know, it's like you want it to make the earlier battles easy while still not making the newer battles completely easy as well. Oh my goodness, seriously. Oh, he doesn't. Yeah. The sword is ridiculous. Definitely worthy of post-game. Okay. Like the Zenith and Terrania. Yeah, or I mean, something that Resident Evil 9 did that I thought was really interesting was the Requiem. Like right off the bat, you have a completely overpowered weapon. And then but it's very clearly only to be used in, and they give you really limited ammo for it. But yeah, it depends on how broken it is, and yeah, and you want, again, like you want the weapon scaling to be such that it doesn't. The challenge is still there with newer stuff, but not there with older stuff. Gotta do this again. Dang it. Requiem's ammo is only limited if you don't know. Yeah, that's true. If you don't know the glitch to get unlimited. What if a new game if a game has a new game plus mode and you're only able to carry the OP weapons to obliterate the early game? Yeah. I mean, new game plus is new game. You're gonna carry in stuff to obliterate a lot of things. A game that did New Game Plus really well was Witcher 3, because you could carry in everything, and oh dang it, you could carry in everything, and sorry, and just go right into the mode that you were playing, and obliterate everything, or you could up the difficulty. And all of your cool new gear is still really cool and does a ton of damage, but because the difficulty, you're still gonna seek out more gear. And you know, the Resident Evil series also does New Game Plus pretty well too, where, you know, a subsequent playthrough will make the easy game really easy, but you know, as you progress, the later game stages will still be some moderately difficult, because all the stuff you took with you from New Game Plus gets compounded upon on subsequent playthroughs. You know, after you've beaten Resident Evil 4 like 10 times and you have everything and unlocked everything, then it's like, okay, now you've reached the point where you can obliterate everything. Eamon says, "Seek the Sky, that's an odd one for me. I play BioShock once a year or two, and only recently had an issue because I decided to use the New Game Plus option rather than start fresh. Made the game feel off and not good in a way." Yeah, I mean, it's the same reason why once you unlock a certain amount of stuff and you play a game with little to no challenge, it loses its appeal really quickly. You know, if you know, as a kid, if you got your hands on a Game Genie and you're like, yeah, I have infinite life, I can just run through the game, and like you play through the game once and not die at all, and there's no challenge whatsoever, it's fun for a little bit, but then it gets boring real fast. So that, you know, that's the danger of New Game Plus. It's, you know, in Resident Evil Requiem, I fully intend to unlock unlimited ammo mode, but I know that once I do, I'll play it through once for fun, but after that, it's like, what's the point? Why would I play the game again? Unless there's a challenge to it. Like, I'm slowly working my way through insanity mode, and it is really hard. I'm probably not going to stream it, just because you guys would just be watching me die at the same point over and over and over again. As I scrounge my way through. It's fun, but it's not... Okay, I gotta get those. But it's not a very stream-friendly game. Dawn of the second day. Is there a... There's a chest in here, right? Aha! Yes. Only one more, right? Question is where? this room. Well, I guess I can just do the Goron. Eamon says, I wonder, do you think one of the reasons so many like the older games like Zelda, Bioshock, and Metroid, etc., is that they're all typically silent protagonists? I think my initial thought is that the silent protagonist kind of eliminates a certain expectation that the audience has. So you don't really, it's just something we accept. It's one of those intuitive design things that people just have come to accept because that's how it was for forever. Oop, went the wrong way. Is that the protagonist is silent. Oh no, I didn't go the wrong way. That's right. Oh no, wait, I did go the wrong way. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, so if the protagonist is silent, excuse me, you don't have to worry about any of the expectations of what this character should sound like, which can also throw people off. Like, I remember people generally like the voice actress for Zelda in Breath of the Wild, but I remember being a little, it was not what I expected it to be. You know, she I think overall she did a great job. Oh man. But it's, if you get the wrong voice actor for your character, it can be one of those tiny things that chips away at people's immersion or just overall gaming experience. And with a silent protagonist, you kind of avoid that. And I think that's what Metroid Prime 4 was going for. They wanted to avoid any kind of controversy over Samus's voice. So they just decided to make her silent, which ended up being a mistake given the nature of the rest of the game. But I definitely think because they remove that possibility that people won't like the way that this character sounds, it makes it easier for the player to kind of, I don't want to say identify, because I don't think that that's what makes a game. I don't think that that's really a thing when it comes to liking a video game or not. Okay, there's a treasure chest in here. Gordon Freeman being another good example. I'll be honest, I play games with Japanese dialogue if the option is there. Yeah, I think that, I mean, the subtitles give you another like barrier of kind of disconnect where it's just easy. I feel like it's easier to accept certain things if you through a language barrier or a character being silent. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? There's a treasure chest in here. Yeah, I think at a very basic, I'm going to think about the question more because I think it's a good one. But I think at a very basic level, the silent protagonist removes a level of complexity from the storytelling that doesn't necessarily need to happen. Don't think I was supposed to do it that way, but it worked. It's like it removes another variable. Yes! Alright. Let's go get this sword and then we'll have to call it a day. We'll beat it next time. Alright guys, we beat the game. We found all the small fairies. Time to pack it in. Wouldn't it be great if there's actually a prize for completing all 5 Great Fairies in a single cycle? That would be pretty cool. You summon the Super Great Fairy. Kind of like summoning the Super Dragon Balls. From planet-sized Dragon Balls. Oh, and this place is back to normal now. Summon the Fairy Queen. One of the things I liked about Twilight Princess was the lack of great fairies, except for the one you find in the desert. And that was hard to get to. It just kind of made you wonder, like, what happened to the great fairies? And they never really explain it. Oh, compassionate one. I am the great fairy of kindness. Ah, the great fairy of kindness. Power, wisdom, courage, and kindness. Yeah, I'm the kindest one. Here's a really big sword. Use it to bring kindness to your enemies. With black roses etched into it, the Great Fairy Sword is the most powerful of all blades. I like how it makes a big deal about the black roses etched into it, as if that's supposed to mean something. Alright. Boom. Look at that. Let's go spread some kindness. You know, these Gibdos here. He looks like he could use some kindness. Dead. Do you feel better? Oh man, this is pretty broken. Should go fight the other bosses with it. Who else wants to mess with me? Oh, let's find a Goro or a Gibdo or whatever they're called. Garo. Anybody want kindness? Anyone? I can sense there's a thirst for blood looming all around us. Don't you have a mask that's summoned? I can. Yeah! Master, you called. What are you? Yeah! Like how he just sits down. Regrettable. Although my rival, you were spectacular. I shall take my bow, opening my heart and revealing the wisdom. That which is acquired in a Kana castle shall open the way. That is all I know. Belief or disbelief rests with you. To die without... yeah. See, that's... okay, so that... I will say one last thing. That's a pretty cool way to guide the player. It's you get the Garo mask. Tattle kind of signifies to you like, hey, there's something here. Then you can fight this guy, and then he tells you a little hint. You know, it fits with the whole area of the game. It's not keeps the immersion because these creatures are so mysterious and you're wondering about them and whatnot, and it can give you a kind of a basic direction to go in. It's the right way to do yellow paint. It's the right way to guide the player. Eamon says, reminds you of the mech pilot that went around liberating all his enemies by destroying them. Oh man. Alright, we gotta save. And a way to drop... I think some of these guys drop lore bits. I could be wrong. Oh, the owl statue's over here. Ah! Oh, yes! I did not plan that. Definitely gonna clip that one. Can I kill this guy in one hit? Oh wow, you can do a spin attack with it. As I take my that which was acquired. Oh, I guess they just do the same thing. Maybe it depends on how far you are. All right, we made a lot of progress today. As I said, I think I'm gonna... It's possible I'll be taking tomorrow off. If not, we'll continue Majora's Mask tomorrow. And then Monday we'll start a new game. I might... I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Super Metroid? I don't know. I'm still debating it in my mind. We'll see. But yeah, definitely check out the Discord. I'm gonna hop on there. I know Seek the Sky shared some cool stuff. Yeah, I will definitely save that. Cheville. Oh man, I didn't think that would work. Alright, so yeah, possibly tomorrow. Suffer through Bloodstained. Okay, maybe we'll do Bloodstained. We'll see. I do have it. It's on my backlog. It's been on my backlog for a long time. So maybe we'll do Bloodstained. It's a cool Metroidvania that people rave about. And there's another one coming out. Okay, let me think. So yeah, tonight, you'll know tonight. If I do plan on streaming tomorrow, I'll schedule the stream ahead of time, so you'll see it pop up tonight. And then, you know, if you don't see it, then if I don't schedule it, I won't stream. You can all sleep in. I'm gonna sleep in maybe if that happens, or I'll just make clips. But yeah, almost forgot. I got to play test Alchemice. Are those mice that practice alchemy? Because if so, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, let me know if it's good. Yeah, definitely hop on the Discord. Check it out. Eamon shares a lot of stuff regularly and his thoughts on game demos that are really cool. He's really good at finding game demos that are worth playing and sharing them there. Seek the Sky shares his Blender stuff too. My stuff gets put up there, and I'm gonna try to interact more on the Discord. But definitely check it out. We're hoping to build a nice little community on it. Monday, at the very least, we'll get started again Monday with maybe Bloodstained, maybe Super Metroid, maybe something else. I don't know. And yeah, everybody enjoy the weekend. Happy Easter to those who celebrate. And I will see everybody possibly tomorrow, possibly on Monday. Oh yeah, I sent the link to the Steam page in a DM. Check it out. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Okay, have a great Friday, everybody, and I'll see you all later.